Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. My name is Joe. Drink of the day is a cold can of Red Bull. I got these Red Bulls very cheap from my LGS. He's having a clear out, so I got a case of 24 for a tenner. What a treat. Anyway, Red Sanji has gained a couple of new cards in OP15. And whilst I don't think this is going to be a meta contender, this is absolutely a very fun deck that you can catch people off guard with some really spicy picks. Like Zephyr. What a time to be alive. But first, if you're looking for the coolest TCG accessories on the market, you want to check out Sleeve Chief. And this Sunday at 8 PM Central European time, they're dropping their new Instant Ramen deck box. Really cool deck box, modelled after Cup Ramen, opens from the top, very, very snazzy. And if you do want to pick this up, you can use code MARINE for 5% off. Thank you to Sleeve Chief for sponsoring this video. Now back to Sanji. So Sanji, if you're not familiar, this is a fairly old leader at this point, PRVO1. He can give Rush to an 8 cost or less character without an on-play. So you've got kind of a lot of flexibility in what sort of cards you want to include in this deck, and as a result, I'm not choosing to play any searchers. Now the only searcher I think you consider is the 1-drop Nami. I can pull her up. Because you do play a fair amount of Straw Hat Crew cards. We've of course got the new Zoro, we've got the old Zoro, and we're playing the Sanji and some 2Ks. But the targets are limited, so I'm currently not playing the Nami. And as a result, I've got more room in this deck for weird and wacky, wonderful cards. In terms of the new cards, I've got Kobe, bit of protection. If you're playing into a heavy removal deck, you can consider playing this. The cost is high, but sometimes it's worth it. Of course, playing for the new Zoro. This card's nuts. You'll play this in every red deck for a while. I think a lot of decks play out big guys early. Lucy loves playing out those big Sabos. And Nell obviously loves playing out those Nels. And even just like if you're on evens into a Nami and they play the Robin on 7, well cool, you can play this Zoro. Do you want to attack into Nami's board? Probably not, but you never know. They might have a Perona or something tapped that you can take out later on. And the other new leader buffer we've got in this deck is, yeah, that's right, we've got 2 leader buffers, is Zeff. And this one's genuinely very, very good for this deck. 7/8 brick, East blue, so very unsearchable. You're never finding this unless you just draw it. But when attacking, your leader's base power becomes 7,000 till the end of your opponent's next turn. So you can buff yourself to 7, and then one of Sanji's weaknesses in that you can get aggroed down yourself doesn't exist anymore. And the fact this is a 7/8 means it's still harder to attack into than your leader, which is very, very important. And if this does stick, well, you get to do it again next turn. And that's when the value really starts kicking in, is when this Zeff sticks. It can also stack with Zoro, which hasn't happened to me, but it could, and that's funny. In terms of our mid-game, I'm playing a lot of power reduction stuff. We've got Law, who you probably know this one. He has a protection effect, which is nice to get around things like Jozu in an Ace deck. This is one of your most important things to see against Ace, just it cannot be Jozu'd, and can give some minus power, which is nice into all the blockers and things going around, as well as just battling from board. And there's also this Wapol, which is sort of a side grade on Law. Doesn't have the protection, but he's done X1 is crazy. You give -2, and then he becomes an 8k until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's hard for your opponent to take this out, harder than Law, if you discount removal, obviously. And he swings bigger than Law, which is nuts. And because it's a 6k base, you can play this off of the old Zoro, this is one of the best cards you can play off that Zoro. So I've tried jamming the Wapol in. He feels pretty good. A final new card, which I forgot to mention earlier, is Alvida. Again, she has a bit of protection effect if it would be KO'd, and that works in battle as well, which is quite nice. You do kind of need these sticky bodies in Sanji, because otherwise you are very weak to just getting starved out and board battled yourself. But this Alvida can be nice and can get you a bit of value every turn in just giving you Arrested Don, and then she has that protection effect. So I've been trying her out. It's also another target for your Zoro, of course, and this one, it feels pretty good. It doesn't feel insane, but in certain matchups, this is a really nice body to play. And then probably the spiciest card in the deck is this Zephyr. Let me tell you, there are a lot of special attribute cards at the minute, and then you can give this guy Rush and debuff one of your opponent's special guys by -5. This might seem like a bit of a meme, but ironically, think about it. In Enel, the Enels are special, right? So you can reduce their 10k Enel to 5, and then you're swinging 7 on 5 at base into an Enel. That seems pretty reasonable. into Lucy. Their Sarbos, they're special. So you can reduce their Sarbo blocker to 4k. And then it can't block. And if you can bait it into blocking or it's attacked, we just get to kill it. Like, it's just dead. Which is really strong. Into Ace and Nami, they're Whitebeards. They're special. Gecko Moria is special. But genuinely, in this format, there are a lot of special attribute cards. And this can also be summoned off Zoro. And worst case, if you're not playing into it, play special cards, maybe you're playing against Mihawk or something, it's a 1k. It's not the worst card in the world. So that covers most of the deck. Our early game is what it's always been. 3-drop Sanji, you can give him Rush, he draws a card on KO, so you don't lose hand advantage. This Kobe can deal with some weenies, which is nice into Lucy. For getting rid of Rebecca's, you can get rid of Priests in an L, and he just draws cards, so again, you don't lose hand advantage. And this Zoro, so that you keep board advantage. You don't need to Donix to this guy. That cost is bad, but because we're Sanji, we cheat that, we just give him Rush anyway. And then on KO, we get to summon all sorts of absolute nonsense, which is very funny. I'm playing 2 Roger because we're a red deck. We might as well play some Rogers. If you draw it, cool. You can play completely differently for the rest of the game. I've got 2 Fire Fists, which I was trying out. This is the one slot that I am not confident in, is this Fire Fist. I think you could also maybe play Igloo. Oh, it's not called that on here, is it? It's called Jisoshi. I think you could maybe play this just as a big counter event to, again, buy you some hand advantage. There's also maybe room for Distorted Future. But, again, the fact that you have to be at 2 is kind of tough for this deck. I find myself sitting at 3 for the majority of the game. 3 or 4. So I was having issues where this card was in my hand, and I had a sick combo with it, but it just wasn't live. So I'm not sold on this Fire Fist just yet. I think there's room to change this card for sure. Gun Gun Mole Gun is probably the other removal-based event you could think about playing. It combos with things like Zephyr quite nicely, because you can reduce a Whitebeard save to 7k, and then just pop it with Mole Gun, which is pretty cool. That does take up your whole turn, but it is what it is, right? I think this is an interesting option. And if you were to add this, you could maybe even consider a Straw Hat Search package, because then you've got at least a couple more Straw Hat cards. Although, again, I'm not really sure which of these I'd be wanting to cut. Possibly the Alvinas. Or, like, maybe one Wapol. And I don't know. You could definitely mess around with the counts a little bit in this deck. The leader is super flexible. And the 2Ks I've gone with, I think are pretty flexible. I've got 3 of the Sanji for a bit of unblockable, although he doesn't have that many targets. 3 of the ASL for a bit of reduction, if you just need to clear something. Although, again, it hasn't come up that much. The Kobe has come up only into removal decks. I think you might as well play it. It's good into the removal decks, and it gives you a chance. And to this Chopper, he's an emergency play off Zoro. He's a decent little blocker early doors. It's a decent little card. I think there's definitely room to try other 2Ks, though, like Lime Juice could be an option with the amount of reduction we have. And definitely room to experiment with this list a little bit. Overall, this deck is definitely not going to be, like, overturning the meta. But I think it's a decent little rogue play for you to take to your locals. And you can maybe even, like, top 128 originals. You're going to catch people off guard with these cards. Everyone who, like, you play against is going to read this Zephyr. It's a fucking common from OP11. Everyone's going to read this. A lot of people are going to read this Wapol as well. So you're going to catch people off guard. And this is probably the best he's been in quite a while. Good game into Lucy. He's taken first, which is interesting. Going second curve that includes Law is always strong. We've got Zoro. We can pretty happily use him. I really like Kobe in this matchup because it deals with all the stupid Rebeccas. But I think Zoro Law into Zoro is good enough that I'm willing to keep this hand. That's a strong curve. And we've even got a target for the Zoro. Just keep. I think we'd be a little crazy to not keep that, even though I do really like Kobe in this matchup. But everything's unsearchable in this deck. Just kind of living by the heart of the cards. There's another Law, which is not bad. Cavendish is cool. We've got nothing to do on 2. He's just searching. Yeah, it makes sense at this point of the game. 7 cost Sabo. We will just dump this Zoro and give it Rush. If he chooses to KO it, we get to play this Sanji, which is meh. You know, he's alright. We'll definitely take the 7. Another Sanji. Cool. ASL is interesting. Let's go 5 here. And then we'll play the Zoro. Give him rush. And then swing 5 again. Let's get a nice little bit of extra aggression in here. Okay, he takes both. Brilliant. So 6 Don, excuse me, 5 Don. We're going to see that Cavendish come down. He does have the event as well. Good stuff. This turn we're going to be dropping the Law. I'm not sure that I want to swing with the Law. Because of the, he can follow this up with Sabo Fire Fist and then attack our Law to battle and remove it. Whereas if we keep it upright, he cannot remove it. Okay, has a Leo. 5 to 5. Do we want to let this go down? And then play a Sanji. It's a bigger guy. But then we don't have this effect on this protection effect. Potentially a bigger swing later. I think we don't. If I had a Wapol or even a Zephyr in hand, I'd be a lot more tempted to let this go down. But I think right now I'm going to give up one of these Sanjis. We've still got one to summon with it. And just protecting this seems kind of good. The Kobe I'm not too worried about right now because we're just playing Laws. So it's just swing 5-5 and then play a Law. And we're just going to leave the Law upright. And that is important, leaving the Law upright. Give us a 1k there with the Just Watch Me. I imagine we'll get another 1k here. Oh, we get a 2k, sure, even better. Then we'll deploy this, and I'm not going to swing with it, because I'm just worried about this getting removed. Once we've developed, like, a secondary threat alongside this, I'm going to be less worried. But for now, we're just going to leave the Law upright. It does Fire Fist on the Zoro, that's fine. You can remove this with the Viola. Yep, that's fine, and we will play out... Don't want to play out the Chopper blocker, ever. Or just, I think just keeping up tempo with the Sanji seems good. And then we're going to see a draw a 6k... No, we're swinging 8 first. We're just not swinging the Cav. That is an option. 8 to 5. I'll just take this one. Zephyr's good. Okay, now we swing with this. Strange sequencing there. I don't like that sequencing. Do we need this Kobe? If we're playing Zephyr, we do need the Kobe. I don't think we're playing Zephyr this turn. We could just swing 7 with the Law and try and bait him into blocking with the Sabo. But I kind of like the Zoro this turn anyway. I kind of like the Zoro because it gives us the character rush. And then we can reduce this Sabo after we play the Zoro. So that it can't free block regardless. That seems good. And this leader effect only defends leader. And he does not have the stage down. So this Cavendish is somewhat vulnerable. You know? Regardless, I think I want... Do I want to take this, actually? Taking this could be alright. Because we're going to be at 7k. He's going to be able to remove our Zoro for sure. Or the Law, one or the other. He might be able to remove the Sanji as well, because it's very weak. We'll still have one guy. I think I want to protect this. And I think I want to protect it with the ASL. Because I think we have enough power reduction. Sorry, I just had to think there. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way. It doesn't have that many cards, though. Like, 7's a lot of cards, but for Lucy, that's not that many. And we've got a chance of dealing with this Cavendish this turn. Another Zoro is pretty compelling as well. I think we go with the Zoro, give him character rush, and then try and battle and deal with this Cavendish. I don't think there's ever a world where we play the Zephyr. If we can bait him into blocking, the Zephyr's really good. But can we? Can we bait him into blocking? If I swing 7 into the Cavendish, reduce it to 4, he might block that. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try... I want him to block. He does. Cool. Well, here's the Zephyr. Let's give it rush. Now we're going 7 into 4 here. Because this is special. Cool. Cavendish, sorry, Sabo is gone. 6 into 4 should be enough to get rid of this. Cool. And then do we want to go 7 into 5 into leader? Do we want to play Kobe? If he goes... I mean, if he goes Barry Pistol, yes, it will remove the Zephyr. But if he goes Fire Fist, it removes the Zephyr anyway. Because he just battles into it with Viola. I think keeping the 2k in hand could be pretty good. Let's go 7. See if he wants to go down to 1. He does, okay. Oh, come on, man. The trigger is brutal. That's a brutal trigger, man. That is a brutal trigger. Holy shit. That's genuinely so lucky. Fuck. Well, you reduce the Zephyr here, right? Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Man, that trigger's rough. We just have an extra guy now, right now. That's crazy. Hey ho. Hey ho. At least we removed his cav. He's only got 1 Sabo. If this swings like 10 here, we have to save. Yeah, we have to save. Oh, it's 11. I think we still have to save. This is so expensive though, man. That fucking trigger. That is so tilting. I guess I could have gone with the Barry pistol, right? Oh, sorry, with the Kobe. But then we wouldn't have had enough counter to save our guy regardless, so... It's kind of 6 of 1. I think we're always playing the Zeff here over the Zoro. Just get him down. Don't think we can deal with this Sabo, though. I think the Sabo... Oh, he might have to block with this Sabo, actually. He might have to. Because we're going to put it on a decent amount of pressure. Or if we just go 7... lead straight away. Reduce this, see what he does. Yeah, I think we'll go 7 lead, reduce the Sabo. Okay, gives us a 1k and a 2k. Then we'll go with the Zeff. Give the Zeff rush. So this is going to buff up to 7, so we can go 9-9 here. Should have probably gone 8 first, actually. Because then if he has to block, we've got a very good chance of taking this out. But yeah, this way he can do this, which is a little bit better. And probably save this guy now. Still needs 2k, 1k. But I think I should have gone 8 here. Even though it lets him block pretty easily. Wow. It just dies. Okay, incredible. That's pretty fortunate for us. There's another Sabo, another Fire Fist, epic. I presume you reduce the Zeff. 3 in a row, by the way. You can remove both of these cards, which is pretty annoying. It's pretty annoying. But he's at 0, which is scary. Yeah, it's fine. If he swings here, he does get the clear. Another Viola. Rebecca would be about the worst thing I can see here, I think. Cavendish is terrible. That's genuinely a terrible card. You've just swapped a 2k for a brick. You're not really going to have another chance to drop this. Yeah, you'll get that. I don't know why we trashed 2 cards here, but... Sure. Well, I know you have 1 brick, so the most counter you can have is 2k, 1k. So if we play this, this goes to 7. With 3 more Don, that's 10. He can maybe save the... No, but if he blocks with the Sabo, we can swing into it as well, so... It's game rush character. Swing 10 lead. You have to block in some way. You can either block and save. Nope, just leaves it. I'm not attacking Viola. I don't care for her. I'd rather leave my Zora up, right? And then we'll just pass. Man, if we'd have 1 more guy on the board, that Sanji, like 1 more swing. Pretty sure we'd have won this game like a few turns back. That bang bang pistol trigger went crazy. That went crazy. I liked the turn where he swung 11 though. The turn where he swung 11 and made us give up that extra 1k. I think we had to protect the law that turn, but there's always the question, right? And we've been kind of fortunate he's not seen Rebecca, but he has seen triple Salbo Fire Fist combo on the bounce, so I'm not going to cry too much. Not going to cry too big a river. Yeah, and he does just concede. Yeah, that hand is unplayable. Cool, GG's for our opponent. Nice to show off the Zephyr in that matchup. Yeah, a little unfortunate for the trigger, but I think we drew pretty well in the early game, to be fair. We got our Fordon play, we got our law down, and then we had a whole bunch of different options on the following turns, and I think the Zephyr bait was good. Let me know what you think in the comments. Got to go into a Nell. We are unfortunately going second, which is not great. I really want to see Kobe going second. We have nothing to do on 4, so I'm definitely mulliganing this hand. Well, we find Kobe. That's a strong start. Do I want to play this Kobe? Don't think I do. I don't think I do. I think we'll just pass. Can maybe use him to counter. And we've got the Zephyr for later, which is cool. So I think we're dropping the Kobe on 4, and then maybe the Zoro after that. We'll see, we'll see. He's used the leader effect. Does this mean he has the dog? I assume this means he has the dog. I'm going to counter this one on the off chance he's swings like an 8. But I'm assuming the instant leader effect means either dog or Porsche. Could mean Porsche. Yeah, let's counter with 1k there. Lightning Dragon just a draw is strange. Okay, no dog. This is just like a whole load of 1-drops, maybe. Lightning Beast Kitten. Okay, strange that you used the leader effect straight away. I would have thought you'd do Pudding first at least, but hey, what do I know? We'll take the 7. Maybe just looking for something that you didn't find. We do have the option of the... If we played a Kobe and he just plays in the Nell next turn, we can defend the Kobe very easily. So this seems like a good play. We'll go 5 leader. We'll do this first, actually. Do that first. Because then if he defends the Satori, we can swing into it. But there was like no way he ever was, but you never know, just in case. Okay, free blocks with Mama up, and seems good. Now, 6 Don, does he just play an L? If he doesn't play an L, yeah, it's fine. You can maybe get a swing into this Kobe, but I think we can protect this anyway. Lightning Dragon, fair enough. That's the second one gone, though, which is nice. Sure, good meme. 8 to 5, yeah, again, we'll have to take that. Not a lot of choices there. I think we're just playing this law, which is fine. How many events are in trash? 3, so this is going to be online very, very soon. So yeah, we want to play the law. Or do we ever play the Kobe? Sorry, the Zoro. No, because then he just attacks the Kobe. We're better off getting this down. Swing 7-5. Yeah, Mama, sure. He's had some very nice draws early game. 2 Lightning Dragons and 2 Mama Ragans is very, very powerful. And he does have the Enel now, which is a little bit scary. In fact, this Reiju still here is not optimal for us. Trash is DD. Yeah, this is going to get a swing for a lot of damage here. Now, this is special, though. It's a Zephyr victim. I don't think I want to swing with the Zephyr. He only gets to remove 1. Yeah, we'll keep that. It's 2k for sure. Then he can either remove the draw engine or the power reduction engine, which you probably remove the power engine here, I think. I think this law is definitely better than the Kobe. Yeah, that's fine. We were never defending that. We don't have any more 2ks. Which is the biggest issue. We're also not going to get to draw with the Kobe, so I might even just not swing with this right now. I think we want to develop the Wapol here. Or do we just go with the law? The law's interesting. We probably can swing with the Kobe. Oh, but it could get Lightning Dragon. If he has to Marmor Lightning Dragon, at least he doesn't have the Marmor, right? We could also go with the Zoro. The Zoro actually might be the best option. Because it gets Character Rush, so we can probably take out the Reiju. And it's really big. But he will be able to bonk it with the Enel. But we do negate the Leader Swing, unless he has Marmor. Let's go with the Zoro. I kind of like the Zoro here. Yeah, we'll give Character Rush. And we'll swing 9 to 7. This will almost certainly go down. I guess he could have another DD, which is fair. But then I will swing 8 into it as well. No, this Kobe's not actually going to draw a card right now anyway. So I'm not worried about swinging with him. I'd rather keep him for later. Should have maybe done 10-7 here. Should have probably done 10-7. Yeah, I think 10 would have been better because he showed us DD. So this, I think, is a mistake. He can save this, I think. But he lets it go. Sure. Let's just swing active then. Kobe's not tapped, so we get to keep him. If he swings this Enel into this Zoro, that's fine. We can trade into the Enel with the Zephyr. His leader can't swing this turn unless he Marmors the Kobe. Okay, Gamma Knife. Okay, so he can swing the leader into the Zoro now. Sanji 2k, good stuff. That's pretty strong. It's pretty strong. I'm really hoping our Kobe survives, which it looks like it will. Because he already used leader effect. Yeah, it's fine. And we'll just take this swing. That's fine. Take this swing. Another one of these is pretty cool. We're definitely going with the Zephyr. Let's go 7 to 5 here. Now, his 2Ks can save this guy, but I'm hoping we can clear this with all these swings. We've got 3 7s or 7-9-5. I don't really want to do 7-9-5. Because there's 2 L4s. Another 7. Okay, so now we can block with Sanji. But we will get... We've got an insane amount of value this turn. And he has to kill this Zephyr. Because otherwise he just... Like, his Enel just dies next turn anyway. Blocker Enel. Okay. Trashes a Holly to make this a blocker. He has to take out the Zephyr. Like, there's no world in which you don't take out the Zephyr. And we defend this swing. 6 to... I mean, that's just a troll attack. Always swing 6 to 5 here. We're going to give up the... Is this ever good? I think next time we're playing Roger. And we're going to attack the Roger into this. I think that's the play next turn. So what do we not need? We probably don't need this Zoro more than anything else. Maybe the Kobe. I don't know. He just leaves. Fuck. To be honest, I think we had him anyway. We counter that. Yeah, we don't actually get the draw off the Kobe again, which is kind of annoying. We get to clear this Enel. We get to swing twice at lead. Which, if he can block one, of course. But then he has to take a life or counter. And then we've got the Roger down, which is great. It's probably a world where we lose that still, actually. There's probably a world where we still lose that. I don't know if there is, actually. Not with this hand. Satori, next time he can block her Enel again. But I think we're in a very dominant position. That's pretty unfortunate that he chose to leave. I wanted to see how that game would go. But I think you see the power of the Zephyr, right? That turn we're able to murder his hand. We got rid of 4 cards out of his hand. And the Sanji. Which was kind of mad, man. That's kind of mad. He didn't have another DD. As shown... Yeah, he didn't have another DD. Either way, interesting start to the game. I wish we'd have got to play it out to its completion. But yeah, between the Roger, the Zoro even, I think we had a pretty good shot there. Got him to Bonney. I'm playing into some weirdo shit today, man. I can't lie. This hand's alright. 4-cost Zoro's kind of nice. 6-cost Law's pretty decent. I don't have a great target for this, but the reduction's strong. And this Zoro is pretty strong too. I don't know, let's try it out. Let's try it out. I have no idea how this matchup's going to play, right? Because, I mean, who's played into Bonney recently? Literally who? Who is this? I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of stun stuff coming, which will be fairly annoying. Comes a 5-drop Bonney. Yeah, that's a good card. Okay, another 1-drop Bonney's pretty annoying. We're probably going to have to play this Sanji and attack. Oh, sorry, play the Zoro and attack with it to deal with both of these Bonnies. We'll take the leader swing. 6-cost Law. A 4-cost Kobe would be pretty tasty. We don't get one. We still don't get one. That's okay. Let's deal with these. Can't let them generate value. Just do that. End the turn. I imagine he'll swing 5 into this, and I'll probably defend in the first instance. Don't have a lot of counter, though. It's a bit sus. Oh, swings lead. Sure, I'll take one more. Is this 5 for that Bonney? No, 5 for Carrot. The other one. Seems good. Does not have a Don active, which is nice. I think we're just playing the Law. Yeah, and then we can follow it up with either Wapol or Zoro, depending on what he does. And in fact, if he takes out the Zoro, we can play the Wapol, which is excellent. So we'll go 5 lead. Then we'll play this. Is there ever a world where we leave it active? I don't... So this Carrot can obviously stun it, but he has the Bonney in hand anyway, which can stun it if it's active. So I think we just attack regardless. I don't think there's any benefit to leaving it active because it can get stunned anyway. I think. I know it can get stunned anyway, but I think that's right. This might be a trickier matchup because we are an aggro deck, right? Yeah, we're defending that one. I think I'll give up this Sanji. Yeah, it stuns this. Give up this, and then... I don't know exactly. Okay, so it's just Law Carrot again. Sure. I mean, that works. It does work. So I think our main aim is to just kill this Carrot this turn. This both are stuns, kind of annoying. Do we want to just play the Zoro and leave the Zeff for another turn? Or just play the Zeff? If we play the Zoro, we get to swing, what, 8 into 6? 8 into 6 isn't that much. Maybe we play the Wapol this turn. The Wapol could be decent. Yeah, let's go 5 lead, try and ping a card out of his hand. And then I think I'm going to go with the Wapol. Oh, the Zeff is 9 into 6, which is not too bad. It actually gives us a card here. This Carrot's kind of got to go, man. I think removing this is more important than anything else. The other concern I have with playing this Wapol is I have no other target for the Zoro, but he's not going to know that. Let's give us a 1k, 7 cards. He's going to have double 2s. I think we play it safe, go with the Wapol. Turn into 4, that's a clear. That's 100% clear. I mean, if you give me 4 cards, then I'll take that, right? I'll take 4 cards. That's tasty. Carrot's gone. Hopefully there's not another one. We don't really know anything about his hand, though. 9 Don. I'm not really too scared of any of his boss monsters. 9-drop Shanks is pretty poor. Carrying this is unfavourable. Carrying this doesn't work. And, I mean, you can carry the Wapple, but, you know, we've already got a lot of value out of him. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that I guess maybe I could have saved the Sanji and given up a Kobe, but protecting the 2Ks felt important as well. And I didn't think I'd be playing the Wapple, but I was in the end, so I don't know. Yeah, I'll definitely 1K that. I'll take this one. Another Wapple's pretty tasty. What is this for 8? Can't play Kid anymore. Mihawk into Bonney, maybe? Mihawk Bonney blocker? That seems okay. Nope, 5-cost Bonney. Sure, so you can stun either the Wapple or the Law. No, stuns the Zoro. Has he got like an event to stun these? Yeah, okay, he's using an event to stun those. That is fair. That's pretty epic. Look at this cancer, dude. What a meme. Right, okay, so are we just playing the Zeff here? And jamming the Law? Probably. Probably. He's got to run out of stun at something. No, he's probably not going to run out of stun, is the thing. We could play Roger. Playing Roger's kind of funny. Because that cannot be stunned. I actually don't hate the Roger play. I actually don't hate the Roger play. Just jam the Law. Because he's somewhat threatening lethal with like a Hody. So let's get rid of that. Oh, Wapple drops down to 6, which is a little annoying. So that's going to be fairly easy for him to try and deal with now. But we'll see what he has for 10. Can't play 10-cost Dofi anymore, which used to be an absolute menace, but not anymore. We don't have to be worried about that card. The fact that we now have this Wapple in hand is nice if he tries to take out Zoro as well. 5 leader. I feel like I'm giving up the Wapple now, though. I think I'm giving up the Wapple now. So he's not going to take this out. I don't leave up a 2K. I think I do. This could be Shanks, pop the Roger, I suppose. That would be pretty reasonable. Should have maybe thought about that more. But if he's not stunning either of these, then I don't know how good it is. Okay, it's Law, pick up Bonney, play Bonney. Play Bonney, stun, resound the Don, stun the Wapple, I guess. Or does he have another event? No, because he didn't stun this. Another Bonney. Ah! Get these bodies out of here. Get them out. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Right, okay. That's kind of annoying. How much counters do I have? Only 2 counters. 1, 2, 3. Split will be 999. We can deal with that if we get a 7. I think taking out one of these guys is probably worth. Honestly. Swing the Roger first, because obviously, you know, he can use the leader effect, probably rest our leader. Could rest the Zoro. Does rest the Zoro. That's a poor choice, I'm afraid. Because then we're going to play Zeff. We're going to give Zeff Rush. And then we're going to go 8 lead. And then we're going to go 9 lead and bluff a Don. Pass. Maximum rush versus maximum stun. Who would win? Currently, it's pretty close. It is pretty close. So his split here is 999, which is not enough to get us there. We've also bluffed a Don, so he's going to think, right, there's no way I'm getting there. And he's going to have to come up with some other plan. If he puts one Don on, swings 7, his split becomes, what, 10, 10, or 9-11? Which we can counter 10. So if he swings 7, we can actually take that. Which is pretty good. And these are pretty bad because they only go on the Zoro. It's kind of funny. This, yeah. Sanji's definitely less good than I initially thought. But a lot of the times I have played out one of these Zoros. Okay, he's Bonney and he's digging for something. Which one's there? Another 6-cost law, sure. Maybe there's a bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. No. I don't think there's ever a world where this Sanji actually comes in handy. Picks up the Bonney. Was he going to play out a carrot, maybe? Stun the zeff. No, these fucking 5-cost Bonnies, bro. He's got 1,000 of these. Holy. Who's getting stunned? Zeff's getting stunned. Makes sense. Zeff's very, very good. Only got 3 Don remaining. So cannot use a stun event. Well, he's obviously not going to do that. Just another Bonney search. Sure. Reel and draw. 5-drop Bonney. Sure. And now he cannot swing into anything either. He can swing into the 5-cost Zoro, I suppose. But he does risk letting us play something bigger, which is, you know, scary in and of itself. So if we can get into 0 with this Sanji, we obviously win. Can we? We know he has a 1k. But if I commit to playing the Sanji, it's very all-in, first of all. It's very all-in. So he can nullify one swing. If we swing with the Zoro, he nullifies the Roger swing. And if he can counter that, then he can go block, block, take, and we potentially lose. So I don't think going all in on this Zoro is the angle. I think we swing with the Roger first. If we swing the Roger first, he has to block with the Law. Immediately. And he'll rest my Wapple. And then we have 1, 2, 3 swings to get through life, blocker, hand. It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed. Let's just simplify the board state a little bit, because I don't think we're ever Sanjing this Zoro. He's just a little too small. We'd have to commit a lot to it. And he's not really giving us any 2Ks this game. Yeah, he's giving us literally 0, in fact. Yeah, there goes a law. Ironically, if we just play another zeff, this actually kind of results in the same thing. Which is interesting. Our split currently is 999. It's just all in, though. It's all in. I don't think we go with it. If we go with the zeff, we get the rush. He's already used his leader effect, so we get a 2k extra out of it anyway. So I'm going to go 7 here. If we minus the law, he might think about lime juice. If we minus here, that makes it easy to take out the Bonney. But I'm pretty sure we can take out the Bonney anyway. Let's reduce the law, so he can't get any semblance of value off of that. And he might block now just thinking about lime juice. Doesn't respect the lime juice. Fair enough. So we have what? 7, 8, 8? Yeah, 7, 8, 8. Okay, gives us 2k, 1k. We'll just play it 100% safe. We'll just play it 100% safe. If I swing this lead and then swing lead, yes, I'm very, very likely to win. But there's always that little bit of chance where we don't win and we don't kill the law, and then we can die on the clapback. If these are both bricks. Sure, I mean, we're just... Sure. Then we'll go 7 here again. And then it dies, or law dies, one or the other. And then you can't win. Sure, that play didn't really matter. We just were guaranteeing the win. I don't throw there for no reason. He's 1 card. If he hadn't saved that, I was going to attack into the 1-cost Bonney. What did he actually give us there? The block, yeah, the blocker Bonney and an X-Drake. So, yeah, he did have just enough 2Ks. I don't think we'd have won if I'd have gone all in on the Zorro play. He might not have been able to counter a 13. It would have been very, very close. It would have been very, very close, and we would have been all in. In fact, yeah, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9k in hand. So no, he'd have been able to counter the 13. If we'd have gone all in on the Zorro with the Sanji 2k, we would have lost, in fact, because he'd have been able to counter that and then go block, negate the Roger swing, block the Wapple, block the law, take the leader. That's it, GG's. So I'm glad I played it a little bit more safe there. Yeah, so he has 9, 9, 9. Let's take. Take, and then we'll counter this last one. Yeah, GG's for opponent. Probably a tough matchup, but the stun was kind of annoying, low-key. He stunned everything forever. I had a lunar trigger last night as well. Holy shit, I was cooked if I went through it. He could have... With 2 1Ks in life, I don't think he could have, but he could have maybe won there if he took that life a little earlier on and gambled on it being a lunar trigger. That's a tough ask. That's a tough ask. That's a tough ask. As soon as you take that, right, Roger's online, so your blocker's offline. That's tough. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd have done that, but no, I think I'd have played the same as him, not gambled on this being a lunar trigger. But regardless, a win's a win. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the games. I did play into 1 ace and I lost, but it was my mistake. I didn't want to include that game because I just kind of threw. I forgot that Fire Fists need you to have 2 life. So I had this I set up for a really good play where I was going to remove his Whitebeard and then pile on a bunch of damage. I had a Zephyr on the board, I had an Ace Saber Luffy hooked up, but I just flubbed it because I forgot that this needed to be at 2. It is what it is, but I did lose to that ace. I think the ace matchup is winnable. You kind of need to either win dice or high roll a little bit though, because they're Jozu. If they get second and then play Jozu on 6, it just removes everything. If you haven't seen Kobe, everything's gone, which is really tough to deal with. Jozu on curve is the card you don't want to see in that matchup. Once they get into their Whitebeards, we have the answers for those. We have the reduction from Zephyr. We've got other reduction from Wapple and Law. You can stack to try and remove the Whitebeards. And you can negate a lot of their like little guys or smaller guys. You can at least make them counterable hits with this Zeff and Zorro. So I don't think the ace matchup is a write-off, but it is very tough. Either way, thank you for watching. Again, this deck is not going to be shaking up the meta very much. But I just wanted to play something a little bit more off-meta. And I know some people's locals aren't quite as sweaty as others, so maybe you could get some wins at your locals with this Sanji deck. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.